like to go ahead and call this meeting to order, a special called meeting for February 8th, 2021. Go ahead, Lakita.
Thank you, Chairman Lapine, commissioners of the Richland County Recreation Commission. Today's meeting, special call meeting, was called, as you recall, during your retreat. We, the staff of the Richland County Recreation Commission, provided you with scenarios for your consideration as we move forward and deal with the decreased program expenditures and the impact that it has on our overall operating budget for our commission. In order for us to move forward and to operate in the most business and sound effective possible way, we are presenting to you today a scenario which we feel would allow us to maintain the services, our current services, and prepare for any summer planning. But as well as understanding when we move forward with this plan, additional changes may be needed as we await direction from the Richland County Budget Office on what our expected operating budget for the 2022 budget will be anticipated as. So with that, today what we are presenting to you is a major financial change to our current operating budget in order to deal with the gaps in our revenues and to maintain our staffing. At the end of that presentation from Brandy, our CFO, we will then move forward for a vote from the board to approve the agenda, to approve the scenario. But prior to getting forward with Brandy, we would like for you, Commissioner Lapine, to request the adoption of the agenda for today's meeting. And then the next voice you will hear will be that of Brandy James, our CFO. We need you to unmute yourself, Chair Lapine.
Sorry. Hey, can I get a motion from the board to adopt today's agenda?
I make a motion to adopt the agenda as is.
Can I get a second? Hello?
Oh, second.
All right, thank you.
All right, roll call. Lapine,
Yes.
Cotton,
Yes.
Coach V,
Yes.
Lindsay,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
motion approved.
All right, thank you. Chair Lapine, if you don't have any words to say to begin out the kickoff for this, we'll go ahead and turn this over to Brandy so that she can share her screen and provide the board with the information. And then at the end of this information, we request a motion to adopt the change in the 2021 operating budget.
Perfect. Thank you.
Brandy?
Good afternoon, commissioners. As Ms. Watson has stated, the purpose of this presentation is to present a fourth scenario prepared to address the projected $2.5 million budget shortfall for fiscal year 2021. As we've all stated previously, the COVID-19 pandemic has had a major impact on our operating revenues and our operating expenses for close to a year now. The purpose of this scenario presented today will help mitigate some of the adverse financial effects that we have seen on our operating budget due to this pandemic. So before I begin, I just want to make sure that everyone is aware that all of the scenarios that are presented on my screen have been updated to reflect any potential budget reductions beginning in March the 1st.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Why didn't you send us a copy of this information that you're presenting now? I'd like to have a copy in front of me, so especially.
Wasn't this gone over? I thought they went over this with us individually.
Yes, sir. This is information that was presented to you previously.
Not with the scenario 4.
Yes, ma'am.
I was not sent a copy of it, and I'm sorry. I mean, you can email me and I can make a copy myself. I was not sent an email.
The information that is on my screen was shared with everyone prior to this meeting, and it included scenario 4 as well. But we
Well,
will,
I didn't get that email. I mean, how did you send it? Did you send it through the mail or did you send an email?
we,
Ms.
Excuse
Lindsay,
me, Brand, this
I-
wasn't emailed to any of the board members. This was what was discussed with you all on your individual meetings on last Thursday.
I know it was discussed, but I'm saying I want a copy of it so I can look at it while she's discussing it. Because you want us to approve it, but we don't have a copy of it in writing. Well, I don't have a copy of it in
I'm
writing.
looking at a copy right here on my screen.
Yeah, you got it on your screen. You're gonna approve something that you don't have a paper copy of?
Ms. Lindsay,
Well, I can
none
read
of
it so
them,
I can
Ms.
see it.
Lindsay, none of them have a paper copy. There was no copies mailed or emailed. If you.
Okay, thank you. That's what I needed.
Okay. if
You
got-
answered my question, Ms. Cornelius. I just asked for a copy of it. That's all.
Okay, well, we'll
Thank
get
you.
you, we
Okay.
can send you a copy.
Thank you.
Okay.
okay. As I stated, all of the scenarios that are on your screen have been updated to reflect any potential budget reductions to begin March the 1st, 2021, and to end June 30th, 2021. And so for purposes of today's discussion, I will not discuss the previous scenarios that have been discussed with you at the board retreat. I will only focus this discussion on scenario 4. And so under scenario 4, you'll see that there are several categories of forecasted expenses that have been highlighted. In these forecasted expenses, we have proposed some potential reductions. I'll start with payroll. Under payroll, we are suggesting to reduce our payroll expenses by 15% to have a series of furloughs related to our exempt employees and our non-exempt employees. And to further explain, our exempt employees are those employees that are salaried, and our non-exempt employees are those employees that are hourly. For our exempt employees, we are suggesting that we receive a furlough day, 1 furlough day per pay period, or 2 furlough days a month. For our non-exempt full-time employees that are recreational staff, we are suggesting that we reduce their hours from 40 hours a week to 30 hours a week. In addition, we are suggesting that we reduce our number of full-time custodians from a staff of 16 to a staff of 8. And then finally, we are suggesting reductions in our part-time staff hours specifically related to recreation. The next scenario of reduced expenses are marketing. In our previous scenarios, we did suggest approximately 20,000 reductions in some of our marketing expenses. Under scenario 4, we are suggesting further reductions as well to our print marketing expenses as well as our media marketing expenses. Under program expenses, again, in our previous scenarios, we suggested approximately $65,000 in reductions to our program expenses. Under this scenario, we have reduced that amount as well. Under our capital outlay expenses, we did not suggest any reductions to this category in our previous scenarios. However, we have suggested that we reduce certain information technology and facility maintenance capital outlay expenses under scenario 4. And then finally, under other operating, we are suggesting further reductions to our conference travel expenses, reductions to our board training expenses, and reductions to supplies and staff development training as well. So with these increased deductions, as well as in our reductions to furlough staff, our total forecast expenses are approximately $15.4 million. With these reductions, we are projecting a slight surplus for this fiscal year. The potential budget savings under scenario 4 is approximately $2.6 million. And under this scenario, we are forecasting a fund balance of approximately $11.1 million at June 30th, 21. We're forecasting an operating reserves ratio of approximately 61% at that time as well, and forecasting approximately 230 days cash on hand at that time as well. Are there any questions on anything that I have discussed under scenario 4?
I have a quick question, Brandy. Just to highlight you and your group's hard work here. What was the recommended fund balance amount of days that you wanted to be in for?
Are you referring to days cash on hand?
Yeah, excuse me, cash on hand.
Yes.
Sorry, days cash on hand.
Sure. The days cash on hand, what you would typically like to see a minimum of 180 days. So 6 months.
Okay, perfect. And so we've got that up to almost 9 months, which is great. And then you're taking our fund balance up from 5.8 under scenario 1, not doing anything, up to 11.1 million by putting us in the black essentially with our net profit, if you will, is the way that I see it. And I want to commend you and your staff and meeting with everybody individually to go over this. I think was great, and I appreciate that. So thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
I like the fact that you guys have the percent decrease. I think it's very important to see that there's a lot of areas that are affected equally, and that our labor is not being unduly decreased.
Thank you very much, Coach B. Are there any other questions, comments, or concerns? If not, I'll stop sharing my screen.
And Chairman Lapine, what we are requesting now is that the Richland County Recreation Commission Board adopt the revised 2021 fiscal year operating budget as presented.
Okay, I would ask one of the members of our board to make that motion.
I'll make a motion to adopt scenario 4 as our new operating budget for the remainder of the year.
Second.
Roll call. Lapine,
Yes.
Cotton,
Yes.
Coach V,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Lindsay,
Yes.
motion passed.
So, Mr. Lapine, thank you all for this meeting. I would like to say to the remainder of the members of the board as well, there may be some discussion that you didn't get an opportunity to see in preparation for today's meeting. And I believe in giving people their flowers while they're still living. Chair Lapine immediately last year, right before November, before Thanksgiving, came to me out of concern and really wanted us to identify ways to address our budget. And with that, he took me down to the county hall. We met with the county administrator, and then I was instructed not only by him, but by you to start meeting with the new county members that were being elected and appointed. And that is what we did. So I want you to know that we are not just trying to fold our hands and say that we give up, but we felt that approaching this now and showing the county and other funders that we are serious about the business and are trying to do our part as a commission. And we tried our best to keep us as whole as possible. So I just like to thank you, Chair Lapine, for your leadership and for your guidance through this process and even this strategy when you asked for us to meet with each of the commissioners last week to go over the scenarios. Tamika, our deputy director, thank you for in my stead unable to do that because I had some things going on with my mouth. Thank you for taking care of that. And then of course, Brandy and her team. And lastly, all the members of the Richland County Recreation Commission, This is not easy for any of us. We all feel the hit, from me all the way to our front line. So thank you again, and we will continue to do the work and bring you updates. And Ms. Lapine, we will now pause for an adjournment.
Thank you.
Any other comments? Be great. If not, I'm gonna adjourn it from the board.
Yeah, I just want to
I
thank
make a motion
Lakita
to
for her
adjourn.
leadership. Wait on. Hold on.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Thomas.
Okay. I just want to thank Lakita for her leadership and working this project and her team. I applaud you guys. Thanks for being upfront and honest in all your numbering. Thank you.
I'd like to make a statement.
Please.
I'm looking forward to having a meeting with Lakita once a month, as she stated she was willing to do with us, to keep us on updates and information.
Perfect.
Thank you.
All right. Coach V, are you good before we sign off? And Lisa?
I'm good. I just thought this was really well handled. I appreciate the individual briefings and communication that took place so that we could have all the information we needed, and just put us in a really good place to see that what we were doing and how it needed to be done. Because it's hard. It's very hard to make decisions like this affecting people's lives, and I'm just glad that we were that Brandy did and Tamika did such an outstanding job of helping us with it. So thank you guys.
Lisa, anything? Because I have one last comment, and then I'm going to adjourn this.
No, I'm good.
I just want to say that us as a board and me individually, that we don't take this lightly. All the impacts of the discussions that we've had over the last months, trying to get our budget in line with the times, and it's tough on everyone, and we've all made sacrifices. And our staff, and how they've said that they would make cuts in their lives, and everyone, I respect that. I appreciate it. Everybody's got opinions, and they all count. And for us moving forward, I think as a matter of strength, this was needed. We hope that the county council and our delegation will respect what we've done, but as governance of our citizens, we felt this was the right way to go. And so with that said, I'd ask for adjournment and appreciate everybody's time and effort.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
A second.
Roll call. Lapine,
Yes.
Lindsay,
Yes.
Coach V,
Yes.
Cotton,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
meeting adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.